Hello, and welcome to topic 7.2, Calculating Together. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Milana, and I go to Veritas Collegiate Academy. In this lesson, we will learn about carrying and borrowing. Carrying and borrowing is what we use in addition and subtracting if we add or subtract numbers greater than 10. For example, 11 plus 21, 37 minus 25, 125 plus 371. Let us start. We will first focus on addition. When adding digits whose sum is 10 or more, carry the excess to the next column. Let us start with this example below. We will first add 7 and 8. We get 15, but do not add that 1 with the 5. You have to carry it over to the tens column, but you can carry the 5 down. Then you have 6 plus 1, the one we just added on top, plus 5, which is 12. So the answer will be 125. Let's now do some practice problems with addition carrying over. We will review the example problem, example 1, and the first question. Feel free to complete the rest of them on your own. Let's start. What is 9 plus 2? 11. You carry down the 1, and then you carry the other one next door. What is 6 plus 5 plus 1? 12. Correct. You carry down the 2, and you carry the 1 next door. What is 1 plus 1 plus 3? 5. You got it. So the answer is 521. Let us now do the first problem. What is 9 plus 9? 18. Carry down that 8 under and carry that 1 next door. You add that 1 to the 0 and 3. What's 1 plus 0 plus 3? 4. Now notice something. You don't need to carry anything over next door because 4 is less than 10. So we just bring it down like normal. And then what's 1 plus 1? 2. Also no carrying over. So the answer is 248. Feel free to do the rest of them on your own. Let's continue. Let's now move on to subtraction and borrowing. Subtraction means taking away from numbers, or counting back. Examples include 8 minus 3 equals 5, 14 minus 7 equals 7, and 19 minus 7 equals 12. Now remember, we only use borrowing when the top number is smaller than the bottom number. So then we borrow 1 from the number next door. Let's explain. You also only use borrowing for mostly 2-digit numbers. So in this case, 84 minus 56. Notice how the 4 in the second column is less than the 6. So for that, we have to use borrowing. So you just borrow, you do 8 minus 1, which is 7, and then where does that 1 go? It goes with the 4, so it becomes 14. Remember, 70 plus 14 is the same thing as 84. That's the proof. So let's continue. So what is 14 minus 6? It's 8. And what is 7 minus 5? 2. So the answer is 28. And that's how you do subtraction with borrowing. Let's now continue with some tips and subtraction practice. Let's first go over the tips. Remember, use normal subtraction when the top number is bigger than the bottom number. Only use borrowing when the top number is less than the bottom number. Now, let's start with the practice problem. I know it looks a little harder than the last one, but with borrowing, we can do it. Let's start. What is 4 minus 6? That we need to use borrowing for that because the 4 is less than the 6. So we will borrow 1 and make the 4 into 14. So what is 14 minus 6? 8. Okay, now let's move on to the second row. We will have then 0 minus 5. The top number is less than the bottom number. So we have to use borrowing again. So we turn that 0 into a 10, and we turn that 8 into a 7. So what is 10 minus 5? 5. And what is 7 minus 3? 4. So now let's move on to this other row. Let's continue. What is 7 minus 2? And look at that. The top number is bigger than the bottom number, so we don't need borrowing. So what is 7 minus 2? 5. So the overall answer is 5,458. Let's do some more subtraction examples. I have this worksheet for you, but let's go over a reminder. Remember, this is extremely, extremely important. When the top number is smaller than the bottom number, borrow 1 from the number next door. That's the entire principle of subtraction with borrowing. So if we have 3, that turns into 13 by borrowing from the number next door. And subtract number from the number beside to get that 13. Let's do 2 of the examples of this worksheet. Also, some of these examples will result in a negative number, so be aware of that. How do you know if it results in a negative number? If the overall top number is smaller than the bottom number, it will be negative. So 66 minus 23. Let's start. 6 minus 3. The top number is greater than the bottom number, so we don't need borrowing. So 6 minus 3 is 3. What is 6 minus 2? No borrowing again. So the answer is 43. Let's do the second one. 52 minus 44. So 2 minus 4, we will need borrowing. What is? So we turn that 2 into a 12. We take the 1 from the 5. So 12 minus 4 is 8. And what is 4 minus 4? Because the 5 turns into a 4. 0. So the answer is 8. Do the rest of these on your own. And keep in mind, Some numbers might be negative, so be aware of that. Let's go over what we learned. We learned addition and subtraction. For addition, we learned carrying. When the answer is 10 or more, put the extra number at the top. There is an example right next to it. We also learned subtraction. For subtraction, we learn borrowing. When the top number is smaller than the bottom number, borrow 1 from the number next door. Here an example, right next to it also. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you next time.